Hey everybody, welcome to TYT Sports, Turks and Jerks, Week 6 of the NFL season. I'd give the week a C+, a solid week, but I enjoyed it tremendously because you had two of the worst coaches in the history of the NFL. And I have sat here on this show and I have praised John Fox because clearly John Fox is an organized fellow. John Fox can get a team to play well. He knows how to run a team. He can clearly coach a defense. But my God, Jim Caldwell and John Fox, holy moly, that is an outrage that one of those teams won that game. An outrage. Oh my God, these guys are so dumb.
You rooting for the tie?
Obviously, we're going to start with jerks. And while I compose myself, let's begin at the end of the tape. By the way, J.R. Jackson, Jason Rubin, Ben Mankiewicz. J.R., who do you have?
For the jerk this week, we're going with.
We'll start with jerks. I'm worked up.
I feel like this is probably a pretty regular jerk, but it's the NFL and their general system for finding people for ridiculous things.
Okay.
We've heard before because we have our former NFL player that comes on sometimes. Why am I blanking on his name right now?
Drew Carter.
Drew Carter comes on. And
we have so many.
And he talks about
Could have been a number of
which
people.
one was I talking about?
Thomas Jones been on the show.
Yeah, and he's talked before. Work Done. I interviewed once. He talked about how he was fine for socks and the coloring of your socks and how high they were and how low they were and what shoes you're wearing. And there's a white Nike strap instead of a black Nike strip. So all these things we know happen in the NFL and they're fines. But they've kind of gone to a new low. The son of Craig Ironhead Hayward, which everyone kind of loved, no matter what, whether or not he ran through your defense or whether or not he played for the Rams, so I loved him.
I mean no disrespect, but we love heavy people who excel in areas where you don't expect heavy people to excel.
They're not heavy. They are big boned.
Right.
And not to mention I think it was a Head and Shoulders commercial back in the day. But Ironhead. Remember that commercial?
Sure,
I love that commercial. So everyone has an affinity for Ironhead Hayward. His son Cameron Hayward is a D lineman for the Steelers. And it's
Craig Hayward went to Pitt. He's like a Pitt legend.
The city loves these guys.
Right.
So in honor of his father who died I think at 39 of brain cancer, he's wearing eye blacks with Ironhead written on it, as we just saw. And obviously it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Everyone's wearing pink across the whole NFL because it's a thing. And he's been fined now probably for the second week. The first week was around $7,500 for the fine for wearing, I think you can't write anything in the eye black, but you can wear eye black, I believe is how it works. They haven't completely outlawed eye blacks. So this week it jumps up to $11,576. It's a very odd number. Just how about 11,500 or 11,000 or 12,000? I mean, come on. Either way, whatever reasoning for these.
I like that. That I admire. I like the randomness.
So even despite that, he was being defiant. This overly aggressive defensive lineman decides to spit in the NFL's face again by honoring his father, who died young.
Right, a beloved NFL player.
What a horrible individual
tragically
this guy
died.
is.
Yeah, he should wear it every day, every game. And of course, there should be no fine, and they should make an exception.
As for myself, it's never been easier to choose a jerk and Turk for this week in the NFL. Yeah, one, because high school quarterback and steroid-taking abuser, and probably banned from future Hall of Fame use, Alex Rodriguez, was on the Fox NFL Sunday pregame show. And we have a great video of how accurate he was at 40 years of age.
You played quarterback in high school. That was a long time ago.
It's been over 20 years. I'll give it a shot.
Out. We got Jay Glazer on the other side. Can you hit him?
Nice.
Oh!
Is that Jay Glazer's fault for being, too short, or is that just a bad pass?
Well, it's a bad pass, but it was an athletic pass. It wasn't like...
It looked nice.
It looked nice. He overthrew him.
Maybe I missed it, but it looked like it went right through Jay's hands.
It was a little high. It was not... I mean, with no pressure in a studio, you would think you could basically get it to the guy. But
do you think there's any room in his $300 million contract to pay for a new monitor wall for Fox?
I think Fox is going to be just fine.
I think they'll be all right also. So in addition,
I also think whoever
So who's
came
the
up with
jerk
that,
there? The NFL?
A-Rod is the jerk.
Okay.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The jerk, honestly, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut into your jerk, but
please.
whoever produced that segment and said, hey, let's have an athlete who throws baseballs for a living throw a ball at a 5'2" correspondent in studio and see if, in front of a huge, expensive TV wall, and just see what happens.
Did it break?
Yeah, it broke. It broke the panel, which is why we're gonna, after the show, Ben Meg's going to throw me a pass from the green
yeah.
screen to the monitor wall.
I have a surprisingly good arm.
Yeah, well, don't overthrow me. Yeah. So in terms of my actual jerk, it really goes to the New England Patriots fan base, and I support the Patriots. I supported the Patriots all during Deflategate and all the BS that occurred with Goodell and Brady and everything. But those who came out and said, this is a revenge game, Tom Brady's father who wanted them to win 175-0, which is a slight exaggeration, all for them to, everyone, every media critic, everybody saying that this was going to be a complete blowout. Why do you want revenge on the Colts? You beat them 45-7 in the AFC Championship game. Then you won the Super Bowl. Then Brady doesn't get suspended for any games, and you're undefeated. Yeah, no, why do you want revenge?
Patriot fans.
For a game that there is no rivalry anymore. Peyton Manning's not on the Colts. That rivalry is dead. The Patriots have almost gotten the better of the Colts every single time they play, 90% of the games. So Patriots fans, calm the F down. You're undefeated. Why do you want revenge?
Patriot fans have behaved, as a general group, abominably during this process. I mean, they're a parody unto themselves. They're a joke. They disrespect sports fans everywhere with their wild-eyed and illogical idolatry of Brady and their team. Here's what happened. Everybody knows it. Everyone knows Tom Brady had those balls deflated. Okay? It's not that. I don't think it's that big a deal. It was to give him a competitive advantage. I almost admire him for it. But let's not pretend. I don't think he should have been suspended either. I think he should have fined the team and moved on, right? But come on, man. You know what happened, and all the Colts did was pick up the ball and go, man, this ball's squishy, right? That's it. That's all that happened, man. But I think it is a rivalry. I think because Luck is the next generation and Brady and the fact that the Colts were able to
it will be a rivalry when the Colts actually start beating the Patriots.
No, it's part of the rivalry is that they should be effective, that we thought they'd be able to play with them now and can't. It's an interesting storyline, which I think makes it a rivalry. But I hear you, the Patriot fans, they're ridiculous.
Well, you know.
So let's just start with a couple little throwaways. How do we pronounce his last name? I know it on Sunday. Mike Pettin? He the coach of the Cleveland NFL Browns, the Cleveland football Browns? All right, so they go up with that pick return against Peyton Manning. They go up 20-16. And then they go for 2. That's not when you go for 2. You don't need to be ahead by 6. They're going to make the extra point. That's not an advantage with that little time left. There are going to be more points scored. 21 after the Broncos score to go up 23. It's going to be useful to you to kick a field goal to win the game. As a result, you went to overtime and you lost. It was not a time to go for 2. Being up 5 or 6, there is no different. Take the point. There's plenty of time left for more scoring in that game. Then, of course, we get to John Fox, who didn't go for 2 when he was down 24-16 and decided to be down 20. No, that's a time when you do go for 2 because you could have tied the game. I can't believe I even have to explain this. But he didn't even make the dumbest coaching decision of the game, but then he did. Because Jim Caldwell faced 4th and 4 with 2 minutes and 50 seconds to play. 4th and 4, not 4th and 14, 4th and 4. And they were what, at the 12? Right? They were close. You get the first down, you get the touchdown, and you tie the game because you were behind 27-20. And what is a touchdown? Who ties the game? There's 2:50 to play in the whole. No, there was a little more than that. Excuse me. There was no. There was 2:50 to play. I can't believe there was 2:50 to play. I just almost contradicted myself because I couldn't believe anyone would be that dumb. But he kicked a field goal, so he's behind 27-23. But maybe he's a genius because he knew the other coach was John Fox. So they kick off 27-23 after the inexplicable decision to go for a field goal because you know what you still need? A touchdown! Because there's no 4-point kick. It's not fantasy football. All field goals are worth 3.
John Fox doesn't know that, though.
So he kicked off with 2:50, and the Bears took over with 2:46. Basically, 1 first down wins the game. Not quite, depends on when you get the first down, but it does tremendous damage. So then the Bears ran 3 straight plays. And the reasoning was explained this way. We have a quote here from Jay Cutler. Cutler explained, this is from the Chicago Sun-Times, Cutler explained the conservative calls more clearly than head coach John Fox. The plan, Cutler explained, was to force the Lions into using their 3 timeouts, which they did, and make the Lions drive the length of the field. Pretty standard, Cutler said. There was more than 2 minutes to play. The Lions were never going to run out of time with 3 timeouts called, 2:46, 2:42, they punted with like 2:34 left. They had the 2-minute warning, and they had 2 minutes. That's enough time. So, and Cutler was terrific. The Lions couldn't stop them in the air because they're the Lions. They haven't stopped anybody in the air this year. But they were pretty good stopping Matt Forte all game, so they ran him 3 straight times. John Fox explained it this way. Do we have the Q&A with John Fox?
We do. That would be number 8.
But actually, no, wait.
I'm sorry,
that's not
number 12.
I want 12, right? I want his explanation of the runs.
Oh, then that's number 8.
At number 8. Let's go to number 8. Here's John Fox explaining the runs. Ultimately, it's my call, just so we're clear on that. No shit! Every play, either you call a run or pass, kind of heads or tails. If it goes the other way, it doesn't work. You wish you would have called the other one. No, it's not heads or tails. Heads or tails is when it's either or. 3rd and 17 in the Super Bowl, down by 7 with 8 seconds to play. You don't run. You're losing. You have to get a first down or you lose the game. You need 17. So it's not. And I get running a couple of times, but mostly keep trying to win. But John Fox is famous for his fear of losing. And his fear of losing took him over in a game where they had scored, what at that point? It was 20. They had scored, at that point, it's 27-23 after the nonsense field goal. Or maybe 31-27. I have it backwards. I can't remember what the score was. 31-27. So all you have to do in that situation is get a first down. And you've thrown the ball effectively the entire game. Then you go to overtime, and they continue to panic, and allow Jim Caldwell, who made the dumbest decision I've ever seen, win this football game. So then it goes to overtime. He runs the ball again. So now let's go to the tweets explaining really what was the biggest outrage of this. This is number 12, because before we get to 12, let me explain basically what happened. So they kick off because they didn't try to get a first down and win the game, and they punt the ball, to the Lions. And then the Lions get the ball, and they drive down the length of the field because basically it was a game where everybody drove the length of the field. The Lions still needed a touchdown because their coach kicked a field goal down 7 with 2:50 to play on 4th and 4 inside the 20. Oh, my God. So then the Lions get close. They hit a couple of big plays because they have like one of the 5 best receivers in NFL history, and they've got a quarterback who occasionally get the ball to him, and they move downfield. And then the times, I have them written down here. So the first time inside of 2 minutes, when it became clear that the Lions would have an opportunity to score and time wasn't an issue, the Lions moved the ball downfield so quickly. There was 1 minute and 50 seconds to play after a pass, I think, to Tate put the ball inside the 15-yard line. At that point, you're calling timeout because it's either you're going to stop them on downs or they're going to score a touchdown. Or maybe Jim Caldwell will kick another field goal to cut it to 1. Right? That's possible. He could do that. Then try the onside kick and kick another field goal. That would apparently be an okay decision with Jim Caldwell.
It's a 6-point play.
It's a 6-point play, right? You're down. Hey, we're down 1 now. There's 18 seconds to play, but we're down 1. So you have to call timeout. You have 3. But he doesn't call timeout after that play. And I thought, that's outrageous, but I guess he's going to wait till after 2nd down. Minute 10 after that next play, because the Lions suddenly realize, well, hey, let's take the whole game here. Right? We don't have to rush anymore. We're either going to score or not. Time is not an issue when you got the ball to the 10-yard line and 2 minutes to play. 1:10 left after the 2nd down play. He would have let the whole thing run out, but a player got hurt, and the officials stopped the clock with 49 seconds left. Then they threw the ball out of the end zone, and they called grounding on Stafford. I don't understand the grounding rule after watching 10,000 NFL games either. That was a terrible call. There's a 10-second runoff, which he could have refused. But he allowed it. I mean, I would fire him today, or at a bare minimum say, you're not in charge of timeouts or the clock. That's it. We're hiring a guy who's going to stand next to you. It's going to take Jason's shot here. Take a 3-shot. It's going to be like this. This is going to be the guy, and I'm going to be like, Johnny, go time it. So that's how. Those are the choices. Now, if I'm Mike McCaskey, who I think still runs the Bears, if that was the choice, you can't do that. And so as a result, they kick the Lions. They scored, somehow vindicating Jim Caldwell, right? But then the Bears have 24 seconds left, but all 3 timeouts. Then they complete passes of 59 yards and 2 passes to Alshon Jeffrey, and then get a pass interference call on Douglas, which was the right call. And all of a sudden, with 4 seconds left, you got the ball at like the 9. And they kick a field goal to tie the game. Here's what John Fox had to say about that. So here's from Rich Campbell, Bears head coach John Fox, post-game Q&A about managing the clock while the defense was on the field in the final minute. So there's the question, and it gets to the injury to Ratliff when he allowed the 10 seconds to run off. John Fox's response, as it worked out, we had enough time to go down and tie the game, so it really doesn't matter. But you didn't have enough time to take a couple of shots from the Lions' 11. There were only 4 seconds left when you got down there. Did you look back and feel like you could have used timeouts on defense to save some time? I look at it the other way. We went like 70 yards in a short amount of time to tie the game. That's not the other way. The other way is we would have had more time, not somehow we went 70 yards in 3 plays because we got. Did you guys have the option to decline the 10-second runoff? Yeah, we could have. That's always an option. Why didn't you?
It's a coin flip, Ben.
I didn't think it was 10 seconds. It was just, they only had 24. 10 seconds out of 24 is 5 out of 2. It's 42% of the time. Like I said, in hindsight, which we all get to do, we wish we probably would have had 10 more. You could have had a minute and 10 seconds. You could have had a minute and 30 seconds. You could have taken 3 shots in the end zone. You could have won, but you don't want to win. You're comfortable losing as long as you didn't make a mistake and fumble to lose or throw an interception to lose. So you play so conservative and you've lost. It's outrageous. There was one great tweet sent by a really smart guy that I would like to look at as well. Another Sunday wasted watching men of limited intellectual capacity try to tell time.
Can you read the source to that, too, please?
That's from BenMag77. That guy is very, very smart. My God, it was staggering. Staggering, staggering, staggering. Jim Caldwell should be ashamed of himself. He's not, because he was bailed out by someone who should be more ashamed of himself. John Fox, fired today, or partnered today. Partnered today with a little friend.
Do I call timeout?
With a friendly guy, maybe a Jew, who will help him make the decisions.
Do I call do I do it now? Do I do it now?
Call a timeout! All right. That's Jerks for the week. Be sure to subscribe below and watch our Turks video as well. Thank you very much.